Let's welcome to the stage our next speaker, Alan Azar, the Regional Director of the Marketing, Tech and Analytics at Reprise. 17 years of experience spanning across MarTech, media, marketing, and brand strategy, data and analytics, technology, digital transformation, and cloud marketing technologies. And his experience also extends to the internal operations of the business, leading multiple digital transformation initiatives around financial reporting, operations, and media intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Alan to the stage.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I don't know how I'm going to match Fraser's excitement, but if I'm taking someone into battle, I think it's going to be him. So, yeah. All right. Really excited to be here. It's been a really good 2 days. What I really enjoyed the most was seeing how everyone was quite engaged. And I don't think it's a surprise, actually. We're talking about digital marketing transformation in Riyadh, and if one place has shown the world what transformation really is, it's here. Yesterday's CMO panel, Khalid Taj from Saudi said something very inspiring. He was talking about how the airline, a national treasure of Saudi and a source of pride for everyone, used to take Saudis to the world and now it's bringing the world into Saudi. And again, I found that very, very inspiring. So my presentation is in the perspective of advertising, just to set the stage from now. I'm going to be talking, about, it's not working. There we go. Getting the basics right in your foundation. I'll talk a bit about some of the data privacy challenges that are going on and how it affects marketing in Saudi specifically. Steps you take now to start building your first-party data strategy as well. It's really difficult to cover everything in 15 minutes. If there's any topic you guys are interested in, just please reach out to us. I can keep talking, so happy for that. Alrighty. So, just a bit about Reprise. So we're part of the global IPG media brand. Within the region, our agency group is actually the biggest in terms of billing, but more importantly, for the last 4 or 5 years, we've ranked #1 by RECMA. At Reprise specifically, we are the data and technology specialists within the group, and we work with clients within our group as well as external clients. And, sorry, I keep messing this up. Yep, so offices around the world and very closely connected global analytics team. We've got different expertise in different markets. There are some offices service globally, and in case we need a wider access to talent or case studies, we can also reach to other markets. Getting a weird feedback. Can you hear me? It's fine? Okay. All right, so I love speaking about our purpose at Reprise. I think it doesn't get talked a lot about in different companies, and I truly believe in it, and it really keeps us on our path. Our purpose is to maximize the performance of our clients' business through digital marketing transformation and data-driven marketing. Simple as that. And the way that we do this is through multiple service lines around maximizing organic performance of your digital assets through like organic search, SEO. We also have an e-commerce specialty. More related to this conversation now, it's about leveraging data for a deeper understanding of your customers and also how you can use it for your marketing. And so activating data-driven marketing. These are some of our clients at Reprise. We're quite experienced around banking, retail, and telecom, but we pretty much work across different industries as well. And this is a list of technologies that we work closely with or have official partnerships with, and some of them are here today as well. We're also the only agency group within this region that is fully certified across Google Marketing Platform. So if anyone's looking at Google Analytics 360, which is the enterprise version, Campaign Manager, search ads, things like that, you can reach out to us. And I think the most important point here is the strongest value you get out of that is because we're part of this agency group, we're able to integrate analytics end-to-end to enhance your paid or organic media activities. So I got a question for you, and this is something that was, I've known it for a while, but it still was very surprising. I'm sure you've all heard about third-party cookies disappearing in the near future. Everyone seems to be talking about it. Just a wild guess of what you think your advertising today in Saudi is actually affected by third-party cookies disappearing. And for those that are not familiar with this, that's one of the methods used to identify or target customers on the web. I'll give you a hint. The global average is 25%. And another hint, it seems iPhones are very popular in Saudi. So 52% of your advertising is actually affected by third-party cookies. So because iPhones are quite popular here and Safari browser is the default browser, Safari for quite some time now, they've already stopped third-party tracking, cross-site tracking, alongside other data privacy features. So just imagine what's happening to your attribution reports. You're trying to understand what's the ROI of your media spend, and you're getting weird results probably, or not realizing that you're not seeing the full picture, especially around cross-device tracking, and also eventually wasting your media spend because of that duplication, because you're not able to track. To put this in perspective, Saudi is number 2. So this is a market that's deeply affected by third-party cookies. And it's amazing because the world's been focusing about Google Chrome and third-party cookies disappearing, but Saudi, for quite some time now, has already been feeling that pain. The number 1 market, in case you're interested, is Japan at 62. USA is also 52%, UK 48, and Germany 39. So going back to what I was talking about earlier about transformation, instead of waiting for the world to tell us, how they've gone around the problem, this is where it should be coming from actually, the solutions and the case studies. So this is a very serious issue and you guys are really, really affected by it. So we already spoke about the top 2 boxes. And a lot of this has pretty much been driven by data privacy concerns and new data laws around the world. And that's kind of led to the expansion of the walled gardens. For those that are not familiar, the walled gardens, when we say that, we refer to Google or Facebook. And the reason why we say that is because you become more confined within those platforms. You can only know what they are telling you. And because of the loss of this third-party cookies, you're starting to lose that data and insight that's sitting outside, instead of having a complete view of your advertising across all platforms. So to summarize very quickly on how this affects you, you're getting reduced capabilities in identifying prospects or to retarget outside of those walled gardens. You're not able to optimize across marketing channels effectively. And there's a reduction in ROAS. ROAS is return on ad spend, and both actual and perceived. And I say actual because you can't optimize effectively, and perceived because you're not able to track effectively. So you might have some channels that are performing, but it looks like it's not. So it's no surprise seeing all these MarTech solutions. Everyone's talked about it. I'm just going to skip this, but I like what Fraser said earlier. We talk about there's 9,000. Apparently it's closer to 10,000, by the way. It's great because you start seeing a lot of niche solutions starting to come in, but it's also not a good thing because it ends up being very confusing. Who do you partner with? Who do you work with? Or what do you need exactly? So finding that expert is very important to help kind of guide you through that. And so I spoke about loss of data, loss of insight. Right now I'm just going to talk about how first-party data helps you. So first-party data is data that you generate, data that you own from your website, from your apps. And it has huge benefits. And when you think about it, no one's going to know your customer better than you do. You've got all the data of your customer. You've had those relationships with them. So no one's going to know it better than you within the business. So you're actually able to take that first-party data and you're able to optimize your paid media and organic channels, do the audience segmentation to achieve better effectiveness. You're also able to grow or recapture lost revenue. Think about it, if someone coming on your site, adding to a cart, disappearing, how do you find that person again? And finally, personalization. Right. So while you may have while you may have several marketing activities that run in parallel, a lot of them tend to be siloed in terms of the data source that they come from. And the goal eventually is to have everything originate from a single source, from a single centralized audience base and tools. Right. So where to get started? And I spoke about purpose. I'm going to talk about culture. It's very, very important. It's really important to really embrace this and figure out how to start building that culture within your organization, or at least start building that knowledge. And you can speak to product experts. There's a ton of them here. Definitely learn about the value of your data and how you can actually use it. And look at how you can support your in-house analysts. I can't remember who said it yesterday on the panel, but someone spoke about IT, and we see that a lot where the analyst is like within the IT team versus someone that's actually sitting on the business side or the marketing side that understands the challenges. And, bring on board a partner that can help you, us. All right, second, build that first-party data strategy. I would say the first place to start is just take an honest look at what you have. Do an audit on your existing stack and find out how to maximize tools you already own or purchased, and what are the gaps that you may have that you need to close. Definitely look at maximizing the data collection that you're doing, but make sure it's also in a privacy-safe way and in a consented way, and there are tools for this. And this is very important because it respects user privacy, but also it keeps you ahead of new data laws that are expected to come out. This is the general direction. Integrate platforms wherever possible so that you have data flowing between different platforms. Start using these tools to get insights on what your customers are doing, how they're moving through the funnel, understanding what your upper funnel marketing activities actually have an effect on your lower funnel activities. Start using that first-party data to create highly targeted audience segments. And where data is limited, you can actually use tools, your web analytics, for example, like Google Analytics 4, that can do modeled conversions, which is a very, very important feature to use when you don't have all the insight. Definitely take those insights and start testing how you could improve on those metrics. Again, there's several partners here today that can also help you with that. And it's interesting how when all of these new analytical tools came up, the traditional market mix modeling kind of took a back seat. Now, because of the loss of data, we're actually seeing that starting to come back because no one's able to give you a broad view of what's happening in terms of the dynamics of your business. There we go. So some of the tools you can get started. In almost all cases, you already have some form of foundational MarTech in the form of web and app analytics. And just a note here, because I've had some conversations and I've picked this up, Google announced Google Analytics 4 earlier this year. The current Google Analytics will stop working next year in July. So you need to get started ASAP to start building up that data. And the reason why is that data will not migrate to the new version. So the sooner you start, the more data you have to work with. The cool thing about GA4 is it actually comes with a lot of great features that used to only be available in the enterprise version. Now they're in the free version, right? So again, it's a free tool. It's fantastic. And if your business is big enough where you're hitting those free limits, you can then look at an enterprise license. So while it is mostly limited within Google Stack, with GA4, you do get end-to-end first-party data collection as well as activation. And this is why it's a very, very powerful tool. Google's ad stack is huge. Their reach is huge. So the fact that you're able to identify prospects or to retarget existing customers from data that you own across all of Google is very, very powerful to do. Right. So Sorry. So I'm going to just give one example. We've got many different case studies, use cases. We work with different types of clients. This is for one of our banking clients that we started working with a few months ago. And again, speaking about culture, what I love working with them is the attitude that they had is, whatever it takes as long as we get it right. And the reason why they said that is they were really struggling with the state of their tools and the state of their data. And it's a bit unfortunate. I was talking to someone earlier about this. He's asking, like, okay, what do you do? So outside of this, honestly, a lot of times we're cleaning up, a mess of data just to get it to start working. So when we started with this client, we first ran a complete audit to identify all the issues, how the data is collected, how it's organized. We needed to make sure that data reflects the actual business. We fully migrated them to GA4. We implemented a mobile measurement platform so that we're able to deep link in that app and track performance there and their customers. We fixed their CRM. There's still a bit more work to do. But yeah, just to get that data ready to use. So yeah. And then we integrated all the platforms to make sure that they're all set up according to best practices and that they're talking to each other the same language. So just to talk about how this helps them, right? So again, a very simplistic view. The bank relies on a lot of organic traffic, which what we did is we put in a data-driven strategy using Google Search Console, as well as working with our SEO team to make sure that the bank, as well as the products, are actually a lot more visible and a lot more discoverable. And so this is a way of starting to bring in more traffic and more quality traffic actually into the bank. And, sorry. And then with all the analytics tools in place, we're able to track them throughout the entire user funnel. We can then create audiences for drop-offs, retarget them. So this is the way how we do that conversion optimization for them. On the paid media and search side, again, looking at how do we increase the quality of leads and maximize those conversions using data-driven audiences from Google Analytics. So again, very, very powerful tools. So definitely the biggest benefit for the bank was solving their challenge of not having visibility in what's actually happening, but also bringing in those quality leads and achieving higher conversions as a result. What we're currently working on is getting a CDP deployed to them so that we can actually take the first-party data capabilities to a much higher level than where we're at right now. And the important thing is the fact that we're preparing all the data and getting it all fixed makes the deployment of CDP much easier or much faster to show value. I see my time's up. I'm on my last slide. So just to wrap up very quickly, the effective data privacy changes in Saudi, it's really happening here. Like, again, you're second highest market in the world affected by third-party cookies disappearing. Everyone's talking about cookies are going to disappear. Why are we still talking about it's going to disappear? It's already happened here, right? Invest in a first-party data strategy to regain control of your data and insight. Audit what you have to make sure your tech is used to its full potential, and start bringing in people, whether it's within your organization, your IT, your analysts, all of that, to take a look at how everything's working. And also look at bringing a partner on board, even if it's just for advice. And yeah, data-driven marketing, it just leads to better results. There's so many cases that we've worked on ourselves. The more data that you feed into it of your audiences, the better it's able to match and optimize performance. So that's it for me. Really, thank you for having me here. It was really good. The engagement was great. If you've got any questions, you can visit our stall. It's somewhere in the corner. Or connect with us on LinkedIn on our website. So thank you very much. Yeah.